Happy Earth Day, everyone! Today's video, your STEM challenge for this week is all about Earth Day. So Earth Day is one special holiday in the year where we celebrate the planet that we live on and how to take care of it. So you guys are going to be learning all about this special word called upcycling. Upcycling is when you usually take something that already exists, like a water bottle or a can, and you turn it into something completely new. So the next 3 videos will be of Miss Baldwin, Miss Ferreira, and I, and we are going to show you our ideas for what we came up with for upcycling.
Hey, happy Earth Day! So today I'm going to show you how to upcycle one of my favorite things to reuse. So I really love these cookies, and they come in this really nice container. Now the container's metal and it could be recycled, but I like to reuse it for all different things. You might have seen these in my classroom. I use them as the pencil holders. I also have one at home that holds some of my art supplies. You can use them for makeup brushes. You can use them to put your charger cables in. They're great for anything. The thing is, I don't like the way it looks. So I'm going to show you how to take this, make it look really cool, and then you can choose what you're going to use it for. Now, I usually don't reuse the lid, but if you want to use the lid and be able to close it, you could paint the lid too. So let me show you what I do to transform this and upcycle it into something cute and useful. So some of the materials that I like to use are paint, and I only use my basic colors and black and white so I can mix my colors. I have water so that I can clean my brushes, and I always use my yogurt containers. Then I also use my yogurt containers as mixing palettes. So I'll use these to put my paint on instead of wasting paper plates or making it so that I have to wash plates. I'll need my paint brushes and my container. I'll also need a paper towel so that I can clean off my brushes in between. Let's get started. So first, I'm going to take my white paint and I'm going to pour some onto my yogurt container, which I just did. And I'm going to use that to do a base coat on this. The reason I'm doing the base coat is it will help hide some of those designs so that when I put my own design on, you won't be able to see the cookies and the label. So I'm going to go ahead and paint the whole thing white, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Alright, so here's my finished product. As you can see, you can kind of still see some of the words, but once I put on my next layer of paint with the design, this won't be a big deal. You can see that I used one of my yogurt lids to put this down on the table so it wouldn't get my table all dirty. Just another great way to use your recycled materials. While I'm waiting for this to dry, what I like to do is go on Pinterest and get some ideas. So you can always draw out your own ideas. You can just go for it and paint straight on and see what comes of it. I like to kind of plan out what I'm going to do, and I like to get ideas from others. So I like going on Pinterest and making a board of all the things that I like. So these are some of the things that I picked out. I look at different prints. I like to look at different color palettes like that one and that one, and just get some ideas. So for this, I've decided that I kind of want to go for these kinds of colors. I really like how those look. And I'm going to go for this design because I think that'll work really well with the shape of my tin. And I might use some inspiration from this because it uses little dots, which I know I can make with Q-tips. So I'm going to keep waiting for my can to dry, and once it's ready, we'll start to paint. Now that my tin is dry, I'm going to start mixing my paint colors. So I only have my primary colors, red, blue, and yellow, so I'm going to have to make all of my colors. To do the purple, I'm going to mix red and blue, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to put a little bit of each and then adjust as I go. So that'll be my purple. To make my teal, I'm going to do yellow. And put a tiny bit of blue in it. And then I'll mix it and see what happens. And then for my pink, I'm going to use red. And I'm only going to use a little bit of red. And then I'll use quite a bit of white and slowly add that red into the white so I can get my colors. So I'm going to go ahead and mix those and adjust them as needed, and I'll show you the finished product. Here are the colors that kind of came out. They are not really close to what I was going for, but sometimes that happens. And I'm going to work with them and see what I can get. So I'm going to start painting this, and we'll see where it goes. Here is the first round of paint. So I ended up going with the blue, green, and kind of peach color. And I did a really rough paint. And let the white show through, because that's how I was feeling. Sometimes when you paint, you just let it take you where it goes. So now I'm going to let this dry, and once it's dry, I'm going to add the black, and I'll show you the finished product as soon as it's done. All right, I'm back with the finished product. So this is my new tin. It looks way better than the beginning. I did live, laugh, love, and I added those little hearts at the top. So I'm really excited with how it came out. Let me know how yours come out. Either email me or post a picture in the comments. Can't wait to see.
Okay, so the project that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making a wind chime. So basically, to make my wind chime, I'm going to use seashells, 3 sticks, and fishing wire. But instead of using fishing wire at home, you could always use string. So my first step is going to be I'm going to pick out the seashells I want to use, ones with a hole so that's easy to tie the string through them. And then I am going to also collect sticks, and I am going to lay it all out on my table so I can see what it looks like. Okay, so here is my layout that I created for my wind chime. So what you might want to do beforehand is just kind of lay it all out so you know what you want it to look like. So if you can see, my stick is way too big, so we, either with your parent or guardian, are just going to cut it down a little bit. There you go. So now that I have cut 3 segments of that big stick, I'm going to use that to start making my wind chime. Now, you don't necessarily have to go around and cutting sticks. You can find outside just the right measure if you want. And so the next couple steps will be I'm going to take fishing wire and I'm going to tie it to the stick, and then I'm going to run the fishing wire through the seashells. And I picked out seashells that already had holes in them. That way it would be very easy to make this. So you can see me in the next couple segments tying the fishing wire through the seashells to start to create my strings that will hang down. So now that I have officially tied all of the seashells to the string, and then I tied that string onto the wood, my wind chime is almost done. And the reason why I tied all the seashells onto the string is so that when wind blows by, all of the seashells can hit each other and it'll make some really beautiful noise. And so now that I have my stick all the way at the top, I actually tied string and then I made it come at the top almost in a triangle. That way I can hang it onto the ceiling. So the next couple segments will be me showing you what my finished product looks like. Now my wind chime is officially done and I can hang it up on the ceiling in front of a window, and I can leave my window open and listen to the beautiful noise it creates. So if you want to make your own wind chime at home, you don't have to use seashells. There are so many things you can make wind chimes out of. You could use buttons or beads or old forks. You could use rocks. You could use old keys. There are so many ideas out there for what you could make your own wind chime out of. And I got the idea for seashells just by Googling make your own wind chime. And I found the idea of seashells. And you don't have to use fishing wire if you don't have that at home. You can easily use string and make those little dangles. So my challenge for you at home will be, if you want to make your own wind chime, be creative. See what you can come up with. And be sure to send me any pictures or videos that you do.
Hey guys, it's Miss Baldwin, and in honor of Earth Day, I'm going to show you 2 upcycle ideas that you can do with reusable stuff at your own house. For the first one, we're going to be making bird feeders out of peanut butter, bird seed, and a toilet paper towel roll. Now, I'm sure people have a lot of these in the trash, so this is what we're going to really use to upcycle so that they don't go into our landfills, and instead they go outside to feed our birds that are coming in the spring. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my paper towel roll. I'm going to take my peanut butter, and I am just going to spread my peanut butter onto my paper towel roll, just like this. Now, obviously, if you or someone at home has a peanut butter allergy or peanut allergy and cannot use peanut butter, you can use really anything that's edible and sticky. Just try not to use anything that has chocolate because that's not good for the birds. But if you have almond paste or you have anything else at home, sun nut butter, anything that you might be able to use in place of the peanut butter, that works just as well. So now I have this all covered in my peanut butter. I'm going to just very easily and gently roll it in the birdseed. Get it covered all over in birdseed. Might take a couple of rolls. Cover it up, put some on top. Really make sure I get it all in there. And there you have it. Now you can put a string through this and you can go put it on the trees and wait for birds to come and eat it. So the next thing I'm going to show you how to do is to make a sun catcher out of some kind of plastic that you have at home. So it has to be a clear plastic, but it can be like a Pepsi bottle. It could be, I have this egg container that I'm going to be using. It could be the produce or strawberry, berry kind of containers that you get at the grocery store. Whatever you have that is a clear plastic that you will be able to draw on, that will be fine. You're going to need scissors so you can cut it up, and you're going to need something to draw with. So I have my Sharpies that I'm going to be drawing with. Our first step is going to be to cut a circle out of this. So you might need an adult at home to help you with this because it can be kind of sharp, so be careful. So here is my piece of plastic that I have cut out of there. Now, the next step is just to take your Sharpies or your colored pencils. You might need to use a little bit more like markers instead of colored pencils or crayons. And now you're going to start drawing on it. You see I've drawn I love Haymack and a little flower on there. So now you can poke a hole in the top, put a string through it, and then it would be perfect to hang on the window. You can write anything you want, obviously draw, and I want to see all of your creative ideas that you've come up with for your personalized sun catcher.
As you can see, Miss Baldwin, Miss Ferrer, and I have all been very busy making our own stuff and upcycling. So to celebrate Earth Day, what I want you to do at home is you need to find anything around your house, anything that you would normally throw away, and I want you to upcycle it and try to create something completely new with it. And I want you to send me a picture or a video of it to either my email, Miss Ferrer, or Miss Baldwin's email, which you can find below. Good luck!